So welcome back. This is still Module 6, and we talked about sorting and filtering. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to tablize this structured range of data. So as it sits now, we think about this as, a structured range of data. It goes from A4, Control N, the whole way down to M538. Okay, so that's how we're thinking about this data. But to Excel, in a lot of cases, it's just a bunch of contiguous cells that are together. But I want to give it this whole range of data one name, and I can do that by inserting a table. So if I click any cell in this contiguous set of data and I go to Insert and I click on Table, it says, hey, where is your table? Well, it recognizes it's in A4 to M38, and my table does have a header row, so I'm going to leave that box checked and I'm going to click OK. Now, a couple things that it's done. You notice now if I'm clicked on any cell, I have table tools. Okay? If I click off any cells, my table tools go away. So let's explore what table tools give us. Let's click on any row, my table tools come back. First off, I can refer to this range of data as a name. The default name for it is Table 1 in this Properties area. I'm going to click on that and give it a better name. I'm going to say TBL underscore, and I'm going to say Employees, and hit Enter. So now this range of data is known as the table called TBL underscore Employees. I always use TBL at the beginning of my tables to know that when I'm referring to something, it's a table. I'm just going to Control Home to go up to the top of my table. The other things I get, okay, I can, because it's one set of data, I have available to me table styles. There's light styles, there's dark styles, different colors. I'm going to go to, let's go to this, that's an ugly one. I'll go to a light green style, but I can choose whatever style I want. I'm going to go to light green. I also have options associated with them. One of the options that I think is very useful is banded rows. By default, it's on. If I turn it off, you'll see now that those lanes kind of go away. What's nice about that for tables is as I'm reading this, that color, those different bands kind of stay in the range. I have these filter buttons automatically turned on. These filter buttons we explored earlier. I can turn those off if I like, but I'm going to leave them on. I'm going to turn off banded rows. I could band the columns if I want. Now every other column is banded. That probably doesn't make sense in this case. I can bold the first column if I like, if it means something, if it's special. Or I can bold the last column or both if it means something. I'm just going to bold the first column. I can also turn on a total row. So what it did, I'm going to Control N to go to the bottom of this. You'll see now that I have a total row it puts in, and by default it looks like it's summing the eval score. That probably doesn't make sense, so I'm going to click the drop down. I'm going to say average the eval score, so the average evaluation is 3.9. But perhaps I also want to I want to take the sum of the salary rows. So I think I made it average or min. But if I want the sum of the salaries, it looks like 33 million is my average salary. I'm going to sum the bonus, and that is almost $1 million. And I'm going to sum my commission, and I can see that I have about 2.4 million in sales. So if this data changes, I'm going to make this 90,000. You can see that automatically gets updated. If I want to turn off that total row, I certainly can. I also have remove duplicates, just as I did before with the data. I can do those types of things. And what's kind of nice is, let's go Control Home. What's kind of nice is if I insert columns, if I insert rows, so if I go to, let's pick any row, and if I do Control Shift plus, remember that's how I inserted rows, it automatically keeps that banding. I don't have to reshape things. I don't have to do anything like that. I'm going to delete those rows just to go back to where it was, and the shading is still good. Same thing with the columns. If I insert a column, it now has, I don't know, a middle initial. Maybe I'll put in, and now I have a middle initial. Okay, so that's all very nice, and I'm just going to put in some middle initials. So that's all very good. It keeps that structure, and that's something that's beneficial to me. But where the real kind of benefit comes in is where I am calculating out fields. So let's say I want a field called total compensation that is base salary plus bonus plus commission. Well, I can add on to this table, and I'm just going to go on to this table and put total compensation. It says, hey, you're trying to add to this table, and I am. And I'm going to say equal here, and I'm going to say base salary plus bonus plus commission. And what automatically happens is it copied that formula down to every row in the table automatically. If we look at this, when it put in that reference, it actually gives every column in this table a structured reference. So it's saying take every row's base salary, that's what the @ symbol means, and add it to every row's bonus and every row's commission. So because I'm in row 5, it's taking the base salary field from row 5 plus the bonus value from row 5 plus the commission and coming up with this value. If I wanted to do that, let's say I want to do an inflation bonus, because inflation is rampant. And for that, let's say I want to take the base salary. So I don't know if you noticed there, I used a square bracket, and because I'm in this table, it brings up all of those names, field names, for this table. And I'm going to say base salary. Much better than saying, I5, and then square bracket, and I'm going to say multiply that by 1.075. So this is, if I go with the cost of living increase, that $85,000 salary goes up to $92,000, and it automatically copied it down. Now, if I want a total salary for everyone outside the table, I can do equal sum, and I'm going to use what's called a structural reference. I'm going to say TBL, okay, and it says, all right, there's a table called employees. I'm going to tab over to accept that. I'm going to use a square bracket, and it's going to say, oh, here are the fields in the employee table, and I'm going to select base salary, end square bracket, end parenthesis. So now this is going to sum all of the base salaries for my employee table. So basically, any structural reference, let's take a look at that. This is the table name, square bracket, and then the field name. So that's how we address it. So, that's very nice because I don't have to use defined names. It's already kind of done for me. The header row becomes the defined name. It's just kind of a structured reference. So anytime you have like a structured set of data, it's a good idea to tablize it because you get all those features, right? You get that automatically, it copies things down. You get the table tools that allow you to do some things with it. All of those things, are very, very nice. Now, if I tablize this data and I say, well, you know what, I really don't want that to stay a table, at any point I can unconvert it from a table and just convert it to a range of data by clicking on this, under Table Tools, this Convert to Range. and it says, hey, do you want to convert this to a normal range? I'm going to say yes. And now I'm back to a normal range. It's no longer a table. Now, I lose that functionality if I insert a row, insert another row. You notice it didn't copy that table structure for me, inserted two kind of non-banded rows. If I did some kind of formula here, like equal, the commission is now gone, the name is gone. It doesn't automatically copy things down for me, because it's no longer tableized. So it probably makes sense, to think about it, to make this a table. So anyways, I'm going to stop here. That was kind of a shorter video. But what we're going to do on Friday, a couple neat things. We're going to learn about slicers. Slicers are filters, but it's a GUI interface. GUI stands for Graphical User Interchange. So it's going to give you the ability to give someone something they can click on and filter for themselves. So I'm going to filter this table. And then finally, we're going to build out a dashboard, which is really going to be cool. That's going to have filters and slicers that allow someone to interact with the data. So to answer their own questions. So they don't have to be an expert at Excel or even the data to be able to answer those questions. I'm going to stop here. We're going to pick up here on Friday, and we're going to complete this dashboard. If we have time Friday, we'll do the end of chapter module 6 case. Hope you have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye.